Family, what's going on? We are back for episode 2
already
of the Family Room. What's going on? I am your
they say when you make up the pilot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm really excited.
You did kind of cut me off, but it's okay.
Actually, I did mean. People. Let me say that. People say that. People say that. I don't mean to cut you off. They actually do mean to cut you off.
They actually do mean to cut you off, right?
Because I definitely intentionally cut you off.
You definitely intentionally.
But because I felt like what I was saying was more important than what you were saying.
Just a tad bit.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Well,
but people do say that, and that's just not true. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, back to the Family Room. Welcome back. Listen, this is the place where we bring humanity to your spirituality. Welcome. My name is Tony Lee, and this is my nephew,
Steve.
Stephen
Lott.
Professor. Doctor in loading.
The doctor in loading.
Stephen T. Lott II.
But what I was saying was,
what were you saying?
We got past the pilot.
Shout! Come on, man.
People
where it is?
Shows don't get past the pilot.
Shows don't get past the pilot. So we back in here. Y'all see I'm back with my shoes off, chilling in the Family Room. Wait a minute. We gotta give the applause. We need balloons. We need all that in the chat right now. Send it up, man. Let's go.
We got past the pilot.
Come on, man. This is episode 2.
Even though we organized it.
Hey, man, real talk though. This could lead into something because we're gonna probably talk about something later. But this is important, man. You gotta learn how to praise God for progress.
Man, praise God for progress.
Praise God for progress, man. The small stuff, man. Listen, you know, people, because I know I can feel you, man. See, with my discerning spirit right now, I can feel them, Steve. They like, it's only the second episode. But listen, man, you don't know what it took for me to get to this second episode.
We missing flights.
Come on, man.
We're late.
Come on, we missing flights. Come on, dude.
It took a lot for us to get here.
Come on, man, dude. Flying across country. Y'all don't understand.
Flying across country, literally Arizona to be here.
Come on, man.
This is a big deal. Second episode.
Arizona to the A, and then come on, man. So y'all don't even understand. We making it happen because we believe in this Family Room.
We do. We believe that it's necessary.
It's necessary, man.
We got a lot of good feedback from the first episode.
We got a lot of good feedback. People went over the holidays and was eating good food because Steve Lott said, "Don't eat no nasty food."
I definitely think it's been some change in the recipes.
Definitely think it's been some change.
It's some change in the recipes. It's been some family. It's going to be some reorganizations.
Some reorganizational meetings.
Like the org chart of what people do is definitely changed.
Right. He put a challenge out to all of the chefs.
That's hard.
And I think they stepped up to the plate. We got some good feedback, some good recipes, new recipes. I'm ready to get into the kitchen.
Absolutely. So,
hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. And yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get back, even though I've been scarred. Y'all heard about that testimony, but I'm back, and I think now I'm ready to get back, kind of
lock
in and get back, you know what I'm saying? But man, let's go here, man. Let's go here, because we got a segment that we gonna do, and y'all gonna learn about it. It's called Mind Your Business. Mind your business. That's all. Just Mind your business. Mind your business. Now, I know what you're thinking. Y'all thinking it's probably talking about some gossip and all that stuff. No. Here it is, man. The great thing about this is me and this young man. Actually, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. This guy right here pushed me into entrepreneurship. I was in the corporate world, if you want to allow that to say, U.S. Postal Service.
The government. You were government.
So I was in the corporate world for close to 25 years. I was, and then this guy right here was down here in the dirty South.
For sure.
Can I call it that? I don't even know. Is that what it's called? Okay. The ATL down here, making it happen as an entrepreneur. And as his uncle, man, I'm sitting back looking like, dude, this dude is doing it, man. Like, because if y'all see, let's go back. We're going to get to Mind Your Business in a minute. Because this guy right here, so it's funny because I can remember Steve. I got him a job at the Postal Service. Can I tell a story? I'm going to tell it anyway, even if you say I can't. I got him a job at the Postal Service, right?
You did.
And I gave this dude the most awesome recommendation, got this dude on. Man, next thing I know, he wasn't working with me. He was working down the street from me. So I'm like, hey, how's my nephew doing? It was like, he doesn't work here anymore.
So, okay. Let's let the viewers know a couple of things. Right?
Okay,
because there's always context to the story. It was called it was a split shift.
It was a split
so
shift.
If anybody understands the post office, it was a split shift. So
all my
job duties.
clerks know what I'm talking about.
I had to be there at 4 in the morning.
4 in the morning.
And I would work from 4 in the morning. I had to remember everyone's mail address. And then I had
the job, but go ahead.
And then so at 12, so I would work from like 4 to 12.
4 to 12.
I was off. The job was at least 45 minutes away from me.
It was.
I was off.
It was.
I had to be back at 4 o'clock.
Hey, but do y'all? But the
what
post
job?
office is,
who does that? Like, what job is that? I had to be back at 4 o'clock.
But the post office
to put the mail, get the mail back.
Steve, but the post office is one of them good jobs. You know, y'all know in our community, it's jobs, and then there's good job. Come on, now you know there's jobs, and then there's good jobs.
I made $12.50 an hour. Actually. That's not even true. I made $9.75 an hour.
Lord.
And all I had to do was get past the probationary period.
That's
and then
all he had to do, y'all.
I would have made $12.50.
That's all he had to do was get past the probationary period.
And made $12.50 an hour. I was 21 years old.
Put this glowing recommendation in for this dude. Got him in. And then he didn't make it past. Well, anyway,
what is a good job?
After that,
what is a good
the moral of this story is
what is a good job?
What was a job?
What is a good job?
What? Well, I think that's debatable because I think I just know that in our neighborhoods that there's jobs, and then you tell somebody you got a job at a certain place, they be like, "Oh, that's a good job."
I think people say there's a good job. It speaks to like stability, like. Not necessarily the pay, but the stability around the pay.
But it's something because it's different levels to jobs in our neighborhood.
The company won't run out of, the post office is not going to run out of business. You know, you're going to always have an opportunity to keep running up, going up in the company.
Absolutely.
So I think that's where people say good jobs. It's like I got a government job, and when I think government, I think
stability. It's the stability. So
for sure,
gave him a stable job. Let's say that
stable job. You definitely gave me an opportunity.
It wasn't good. So I put him on.
And you don't even remember one day. I don't even know if you remember this. We were actually working together, and I think I was like dead tired, man. And I was in there, and you was like, "Man, Steve, you lazy."
No, man, I do, but I do remember.
No man like to be called lazy, dog. I took that personal. I
probably did.
Not from you. I'm saying like I didn't take it personal. But I'm saying like I had to like step it up. Like, but no man like to be called lazy.
And I said this the last show. One of the great things about our relationship, and this has been like forever, like we've always had the ability to talk about each other, criticize each other, and never hold it.
Be honest.
And push and be honest with each other and push each other to another level. And so he did that.
That comes from equity though. Like that's because the majority of what you say is good. So it's not like when you say something when you say something that needs to be criticized, I have to listen. I have to listen to you, like you mean because you built that equity.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because everybody can't say it. And what he said, I do remember a conversation that we had. We were going to work one day, and he talked about how he was going to be the one in our family. I don't know if you remember this. He said, "I'm going to be the one in our family that changes everything. I want to be the one that changes the whole way, in a sense of how we kind of look at money, all of that." Because and so I can say this: he really pushed me to that level to where he came down here. We're in Atlanta now, taping and all that stuff, and he did it, man. And it's like he put his foot to the ground and struggled for probably, I don't know how many years. He'd probably tell you his own personal thing. But anyway, he became an entrepreneur. He became that guy. And I'm up here in the corporate and I'm looking, and it's like he telling me, "Come on, man, join me, do this. It's the life over here." And,
this definitely was the life. It definitely was the life, for sure.
And so I'm looking from afar.
But it comes from this our endless conversations of, "Man, Steve, I'm struggling. I can't do this. Like I can't do." And I'm like, yo, you can actually, what you have can be monetized, right? What you're good at can be monetized.
Absolutely.
What you know what I mean? Like, as a pastor, having freedom, like you wanted freedom. The post office it limited so much of and then you were ascending as a pastor.
Wow.
Yeah. You were doing all those things in the post office, just, so then what we did was we said, well, how much do you make?
Yeah.
Right. And so at that time, if you don't mind me telling, you was making 6 figures, bro. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now and it's not an easy decision to quit a job that makes 6 figures.
Say that again. Tell them that again. No, that's real talk.
Married with kids and, all those
because by this time I'm in it, man. I got 4 bags. I'm in it. I got a house, I got everything, right?
But we strategized. And we talked about like, okay, if and this is what most people I don't think don't do. I always say don't quit your job, right? Until how am I going to supplement this income, right? Where does it come from? Where does this money going to come from? Because we quit with these ideas,
right?
You can't quit with an idea. Yeah. When you have something solid. It puts you in a very uncomfortable position. And when you have to depend on your business to fund your life, then you're actually cheating yourself and your business. Right, it's too much pressure on you. You need mental freedom, right? You need mental dexterity, right, to be able to think about multiple things at one time, right, to be able to come up with a solid plan.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? We was talking about this offline, and to let you both know, now we're both entrepreneurs.
We're both entrepreneurs. To bring you back to the present,
right?
You know what I mean?
Like now I teach
entrepreneurship.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And this guy got multiple businesses and doing great things, man. And I'm super proud of him and doing what he's doing. And so, but one of the things
you too, Tom.
Shout out. Yeah. So he was actually the one, my wife brought this up offline, but got me involved in car rental. And that really set me up, man.
It did well for you, though.
It did do well for me.
You had a motto that I think worked for you.
It did. I bit off more than what they say. What's that saying? More than I could chew.
Yeah, but I think the motto worked for you though. Like I think it was a good like I don't think Turo was a good people who rent cars. I think I think we were sold an opportunity that wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like unless you are positioning yourself to be a rent-a-car company, then you're always putting yourself at risk at the moment.
At risk, and that was the thing, because you had a great experience with that. Because you had a great.
I had about 6 cars that was rented. I bought them all. Excited.
He had a great experience, and the crazy thing was, I could not believe when one of his cars got wrecked, and then lo and behold, I had about four of myself get wrecked, and
it's not even that the business is bad. It's that I didn't. What happens is it's not that the business is bad. Is that us as entrepreneurs, as we do these things, we don't assess all of the problems. Like we look at just the opportunities, right? We're super optimistic, right?
Absolutely.
So when you look at the business model, you look at, all right, the motto is like you rent a car, you ain't got to use the car. You know what I mean? Free money, right? And most people, emotionally, probably the number 2 bill that people hate paying the most after the rent is probably their car note, right? No, like people hate paying their car note. So it was an emotional tie.
Sure.
Like, I can build this business off something I don't even like. You know what I mean? I don't even drive my car.
I don't even drive. Right.
You know what I mean? So people started, seeing the opportunity, but it's just not worth it, because once you hand those keys off, you no longer have control.
You no longer have control. And listen,
so meaning you can have a business today, and then tomorrow you just don't.
You literally don't. You literally don't. And so we just gave you part of our stories, man, but just let you know, mind your business. Mind your business is going to be an entrepreneurial spotlight on different,
we're going to talk about like how we, different. I have no problem sharing about any of my ventures and
absolutely,
and all the, all.
Well, the crazy thing is, hold on, wait. We're not going to skate past this, because the crazy thing is, this guy's blessed as a professor now. He actually teaches entrepreneurs. That's one of your classes, right? That's literally.
I said that earlier.
So that's I mean, so we can't get no better than this. We can't. I mean, we gonna tell you our failures. We gonna tell you our mess ups. And then he's actually gonna give you the practical side, of some things, some practical great points, business points, because so many times, especially, we'll get into stuff, and like you said earlier, we were talking about earlier, that you don't know everything. You don't, you think you know everything, or you do, even if sometimes you do your research, but there's some practical business points that this guy has that's going to bring up. So that's going to be mind your business. Mind your business.
Mind your business. We gonna
that's going to be hot, man.
You know what? Let's talk about a business.
Let's talk about a business.
You're thinking about building a church. like a church in there,
the church.
The church.
I am a pastor.
You are a pastor. You built churches. You've been a part of the the growth of the church.
Yes.
I think the way that we've been doing church has been grossly ineffective.
Whoa. Grossly ineffective.
I think the way that we fundamentally build churches.
Take a drink of water on that one.
I think the way that we fundamentally build churches is completely ineffective. I think any church.
Please elaborate.
Well, I think so obviously we can speak on this because we have, I can speak on this because I grew up in it. I've seen any church that's in the same position.
Okay.
For 5, 10, 20, 30 plus years.
Right.
Is ridiculous.
Wait, let me stop right there. Okay, right. Okay.
No, it's ridiculous. I was gonna say something. I was trying to clean it up. I was trying to clean it up, but it's crazy.
What is in the same position? What do you mean? What does that mean? Let's start there. What does that mean?
Okay,
is that membership?
Let me rephrase. There's something to be said about still being here. So that's a positive, right?
Okay.
There's something to be said.
Right.
There's something to be said about the doors still being open.
Right.
There's also something to be said about what we're doing to maintain the doors being open, right? So are we still facing the same challenges year after year after year?
Right.
Are we still relying on the members to keep the doors open?
Okay.
Right. So what happens is that I think the church, the growth of the church being relied on the people's backs, right, and not supplying the people what it needs to actually build the church. Is like travesty.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's not what you called it earlier. You said it's a
grossly, I think it's been grossly ineffective. I think the motto is grossly ineffective. but I think what we've been going through for the last 30 years has been like, since I'm 38. So for the last 30 years, it's been, it's a travesty. Like the way that we haven't been able to grow, the way that we haven't been able to empower the members of the church, to give them what they need to empower themselves. It's crazy.
So I think, all right. So you just dove into something.
Think about this. It's a very unique opportunity, right? Where in life do you get people to come here, to come to one place every Sunday? Where in life do you get to people in groups to come to one place every Sunday,
right,
and not grow from it, and not benefit from it, right? So it's almost like we're just going because we're accustomed to it. Like we're going like what community doesn't thrive? Like it's literally a community. Churches should be ecosystems. Churches should be places that where I'm coming. I'm getting the financial literacy I need. I'm getting my attorney advice. We should be providing the community with what it needs to thrive, and then we'll be more cheerful givers. We'll have more money to give.
Wow.
And that's how it thrives. But the church got to position itself to do that. And I think we've done a very poor job of giving, of providing the members what they need. To thrive in this world.
All I got is wow. All I got is wow.
And yet we ask for the money they have.
Well, okay. So let's go back because you said a lot. You said a lot right there.
I did.
You said a lot. But I think we got to.
This stuff is pent up.
I see. It's coming from somewhere. It's coming from your belly. Solid out of your belly shall flow.
Really?
But I think we gotta define some things, Stephen, because you said
we should define some things.
You said growth. You talked about growth because what's growth to one person might not be growth to another person. So that's something.
I agree. I'm speaking to the majority of the pastors that I speak to have been trying to figure out how to grow.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying. So I think the easiest low hanging fruit is to say all pastors don't want to. What if pastors want to be in of the same members? What if pastors only want to and if you would ask the pastors that I spoke to, they all have every year strive to do something, and then in some way they're frustrated because the members or the people who the congregation aren't doing their part, right? Or, you know, like it's just a revolving wheel.
Sure.
That
so you're saying that you're saying with that revolving wheel, not to cut you off, but no, that was.
I don't think you cut you off. It was room for you.
But you're saying that there's a different way to do it, so you believe that there should be a different method in doing this?
Yeah,
because
I think the method needs to be challenged. Like I don't think there's nothing wrong with pastors. I don't necessarily think there's nothing wrong with the people.
So that's right, because I want you to clarify. So there's nothing wrong with church. There's nothing wrong with pastors.
No, there's a lot wrong with church, but that's not the conversation we're having.
Okay,
that's not the conversation.
That's not okay.
What I'm saying is, in speaking, like, okay, so if I was to build a church, let's go there.
Okay, we're talking about that.
Forget about like what they've doing. If I was to build a church, I would focus on organizational talent first, right?
Okay.
So meaning I would find a pastor first, right? I would find a pastor who's passionate about leading sheep, right? Who has a gift and passionate about serving people and leading sheep. But I will leave it there.
Okay, so can I ask you this before we go any further?
Sure.
You're building the church.
I'm building
I understand.
The church.
So my question is to you. Is this set up as a business structure? Is the church a business to you?
Church is a business, period.
The church is a business. All right. So what do you say to the person that's like, absolutely not, no, it's not. The church is not a business.
They're factually wrong.
Wrong.
The church entity is a business, right?
Okay.
So anything can be church, right? So we can have church right here and have a conversation. It's technically church. Any type of gathering doesn't have to be in the building.
Okay.
But the entity, once you start putting the entity into it, because then you form the business. And most churches are nonprofits. So nonprofits are, in fact, businesses, right? According to the state, right? According to the, they're governed, right? And so understanding what a nonprofit is and how you get funding for a nonprofit, then now you have to put yourself in position to understand what nonprofits are. That's your job. So if you're the pastor and you're starting this church, you're the CEO of this church.
The pastor is the CEO. So I'm not just a pastor. I'm actually the chief executive officer. I 100%. Run this company.
But what does that mean?
Okay.
Right. What does that mean to be the chief executive officer?
Okay.
Right. That means that you have the mission and then the vision relies on you solely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So people are going to follow you for the mission and the vision of this church.
Right.
Now you have to carry out the mission and the vision. So it's up to the pastor, the CEO. If I'm the pastor and the CEO, now I'm looking for talent. Right. I'm looking for talent to help me carry out my mission and vision. Most people start churches after they got a sign from God or, whatever they
Wait. You're going too fast, Steve, because I want you to help. This is mind your business, man.
Absolutely.
You're trying to help somebody. Wait, the pastor is the CEO. Is it possible that a person can be a good pastor, but not a good CEO?
Yes, because the majority of the pastors aren't qualified to be CEOs.
Okay.
Because in order to be a CEO, you have to be able to not only have tangible leadership skills,
mm-hmm.
but you definitely have to have some type of acumen that understands every part of this business, right?
Okay.
Because everything falls on you.
Everything falls, right.
Right? Everything falls on you. So who we hire, who we bring in, all the decisions, even if other people make those decisions,
mm-hmm.
it still falls on you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so most of us just don't understand what the role entails.
Right.
Right. We think because we started it, we're in charge. Right.
Right.
We're just going to do it. And it's not a bad thing, but it just positions your church with more risk of not being as successful as you probably would have thought.
Okay. All right.
So meaning there is framework. So obviously God has a big deal to do with this spiritually, and I don't want to take that.
Right.
Let's put that aside. Like God can do anything.
Obviously, God has something to do with the church.
He can take this whole thing.
Right.
However, there is framework and stewardship, and and things that goes into place to be able to put this organization in the best position to be successful.
So your belief is not just because I got called, it's not just because God spoke to me and said, start this work, that there has to be some type of business acumen that goes behind it as well.
I think pastors should put themselves in position to learn. Right. So meaning if you don't know, then you should find a way to know. You should either join a business school or you should join a group of pastors. You should even, if you're actually called, I would even I would even go as far as do like an internship, right, under pastors at work, right? So, you know what I mean? So if there are pastors successful, I would go to another church that's doing it well and ask the pastor, can I serve under you, right? Can I work under you? Because I need experience. I need to learn these things. I need to see how you've been successful. That's what I would do, right? If I wanted to be a pastor, because the biggest thing is experience.
Is experience.
Because you're bringing your own experience to this new entity, and you're asking people to come in and trust me, follow me, right? And they're following you, but you're not qualified, right? And it just shows itself over time, right? It shows. I mean, honestly, you show me a church. Show me a church that worked. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and we grew around a lot of churches.
We definitely grew up around church.
What did they get wrong?
Mm-hmm.
What did they get wrong? Right? I would argue Kojic has, or denominations, people that follow in denominations and they pay in denominations.
Mm-hmm.
I think that has a lot to do with the failure rate of churches as well, right? I think that the people who follow denominations like Kojic, I think Kojic has a responsibility to not just put people in place, but to supply them with the things they need so they can be successful. Because ultimately, if they're successful, then the Kojic entity successful.
So
we talk about that too.
Shout out to the Kojic Church of God in Christ.
Shout out to Kojic.
Porter Bread.
And it presents an opportunity, right? It's not wrong, but it's an opportunity for
So my question then to that, Steve, would be, what do you think? How can I say this? What is any business opportunity that I know of pretty much has, and I don't want to use the terminology wrong, like a buy-in. All right, or there's criteria that has to be met. What then, if we're saying the denomination should supply the church, what is the buy-in from the church? What do they need? What is the criteria for that church to say for the denomination, whoever that might be, to give you what you need? Which means let's put it in another. Let's go to McDonald's. If you're starting a McDonald's franchise, then I'm going to tell you need. I don't know these exact numbers, but you're going to need $50,000. You're going to need a building. You're going to need this many employees.
What happens in church though is that most of them have the building, and most of them have the people, right? So the way churches work is that when a pastor usually passed away or leaves the church, then the church, the Church of God in Christ, owns that church, right?
Right.
Technically owns, right?
Okay.
But and then that gets like kind of passed down, and they choose a pastor to come in and run that church. What I'm arguing is that before they put a pastor in there, they need to equip the pastor with the necessary, meaning there are like, okay, I would say small, like, okay, so this small groups work, right? This works. I think they give the pastor way too much freedom, right? And a pastor should have freedom, but I think it should be a joint, right? So this has worked. This is what has worked. You should use this, and then pastors coming in, and then they bring their thing, and they work together to make this church successful. I think just kind of leaving them out there, this is a recipe for disaster.
Listen, let me tell you from experience, it puts a lot of pressure on the preaching teacher. I will say that.
And you're not ready, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a real thing, right? Do you understand taxes? Do you understand, right? Do you understand how to gain funds for the community? Do you understand how to put in some small groups, and do you understand how to empower the members, right, with the things that they need for their lives, so they can keep coming back to the church?
So can I hire those people? Can I get smarter people around me?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the beauty of it too, is that because the church is such an emotional place, people will give their time. Right. That's the church is probably the best place for people to donate their energy. So if I'm a pastor, I'm going around and I'm sourcing talent. I'm saying, listen, I'm starting this church. What are you good at? What do you get at? Right? Where do you work at? Where did you work at? You know what I mean? And then a lot of times pastors are limited to the talent that they have around them to go after this dream. And I'm saying that I think the pastor should source the talent they need first before starting. Because it starts with the mission and the vision. So if your mission and your vision is correct, then people will follow you. So you source the people and you say, hey, listen, I'm starting a church. This is what I believe. This is the vision. Mm-hmm. I believe we can do all this. I need your skill set. I need your talent specifically. But as the CEO, you have to know what you need and what you're doing. And
so put together the org
chart and then you let people people build churches.
The argument that me and Steve have had in the past is
we had a lot of
the division between the line. Where's the line between the structure, what he's talking about, the business side, and then whosoever will let them come, or being, or being. Well, we've talked about get the professional people or whatever from the beginning before you start. And
so what I'm saying, and you're right, that's not always the case, right? So you're not going to always find people to be there. What I'm saying is that as a CEO, it's your job to get the job done. It falls on you. Right. So whether if you can't find the people, then I'll find somebody who's willing, and then I'll get them trained. I'll get them taken care of. I'll introduce them to somebody that can go there for a month. Hey, do me a favor. I need you to learn finances. I need you to learn accounting for me. Right? Okay. They're already willing. I need you to learn it. But the CEO has to know what needs to be done. Like high performing, this has to be high performing. This has to, to go right. Right. And if it doesn't, everything else, if the business falls in the church and everything else falls.
One of the things that we talked about, and I told him this, I think this is just me, because he said the pastor's the CEO, and I'm talking from a pastor. I think that every pastor needs, we talked about pushing the needle earlier. We need somebody, because sometimes the pastor is not as concerned. Well, I shouldn't say that. Sometimes I'm not gonna say we. I'll just say sometimes you lose sight of pushing the needle for the need of the people, for the people's sake, and you don't look at the overall picture. But I think you do need somebody in your camp, in your leadership team, that is only worried about.
What do you think the people need?
Well, sometimes the people need. And this is not the best thing, I think, but sometimes you do have to stop progress to nurture the people, because everybody's not going to move at the same pace.
Nurture in what way?
Huh?
Nurture in what ways?
I mean, it could be prayer. I mean, now again, I'm not saying this is right. Now, I don't want you. I'm just saying that it's possible.
I'm not saying this is right.
Because everybody's not equipped to move at the pace that the leader CEO wants to move. So. And you don't have the luxury. All I'm saying, all right, this is a perfect example. We talked about the Postal Service where I was working in the Postal Service, and the Postal Service we used to work on this thing called the IRT. That was when we sold stamps. Anyway, then we got this system called the POS One, which is a totally computerized system, all that stuff. So we had some older people that were used to the IRT. It was an older, like, typewriter type system. Then when the POS system came in, it was touchscreen. It was all state of the art. I don't have the luxury as a pastor to say, pretty much like the post office did. The post office said, y'all better learn this or you ain't got no job.
Yeah.
You don't have the luxury as a pastor to have that type of speed. You wish, I mean, sometimes you probably wish you could say that.
Now,
you wish you could say, hey, y'all better get this because I'm moving on. Or but you don't have that luxury. So that's why I'm saying sometimes there's a fine line between treating it as a CEO and a shepherd. Because sometimes you do have to wait for the people to say, all right, they're not ready yet. They're not.
I can agree.
You have to equip their heart to move with you, because you're dealing with volunteers and not people that's getting paid.
It's not that. So I can agree. It's not that it's not challenging, right?
Uh-huh.
The job is going to be challenged, right? Jesus spoke about, right? This is a, right? You know,
absolutely.
This road is not for the,
absolutely,
for the weak, right? In so many words, it's not that it's not going to be a challenge. What I'm saying is that as a pastor, you have to be able to understand your options and all of your options. What I'm arguing is that a lot of our pastors are limited to just church understanding and not understanding the business, and so they don't even have those options to be able to think about about the decisions I should make. You know what I mean? So I would argue that it's a decision thing, and so they don't know what they don't know, and so they should equip themselves to be able to make the qualified decisions to be able to scale the church.
Which is what you told me, challenged me to get around leadership conferences,
absolutely.
To continue. Yeah. And like I said, he's definitely challenged me in that area.
Foster that, right?
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like you want to cultivate that. You want to like as I, if I'm telling as a teacher, I am consistently telling my students like lock in, you know what I mean? Do that. And I have to, in order for me to teach them, I got to be prepared. So, I mean, I definitely think the business of the church is definitely something that we can always improve on it and get better at. I think we fumbled the ball. Is what I'm saying. I think especially the churches I've been around, all the churches that I keep seeing that's in the same predicament. I think the business model of building off the backs of the people is a flawed business model, right? And I think if we had more business acumen associated to the church, to what we're doing, I think we'll be. If the goal is to win souls, I think we'll be we'll be able to push that bar a lot forward to get people more excited about being in church.
Wow.
And then therefore the message will probably be more well received.
And I think, and first of all, we'll end here. I mean, probably because first, we both, like I said, are PKs and been in this thing all our life. So when we talk from the perspective of being in it literally all our lives, and this is all we know, and wanting to make it better.
Right.
Wanting to make it better, not to bring any disdain or wanting to make what we've been in all our life better. And I think I've told him this before. I think his acumen and what he does for a living now, and literally going to different businesses and helping other businesses. And so many times I think we see it, Steve, on the, if you allow me to say, the secular side working. But I think it definitely, things like what you're saying can definitely work in the church. You know what I'm saying? If we treat it that way. So I definitely, he challenges me. We now are building a ministry in the city of Casa Grande, Arizona.
I promise you, the motto that should be is you give to the people will give to you. It's a very simple model.
Very simple.
Right. I think it's flipped though. I think we expect for the people to just give, and that's the way we fund.
Oh wow. That's a whole nother show too. But I mean, I think we can go a lot of different ways with that.
For sure.
because you need the people to give now. I mean, but the thing is, because that's biblical, but that's a whole nother show. I don't want to go that way. But
I didn't say it wasn't.
I don't want nobody blessed. Hey, listen,
the sequencing is off.
This is the family room, man. This is what we do.
Family room, man.
This is what we do. This is what we do.
Tell me what y'all think. Am I wrong, y'all? Am I tripping? Tell me what you think. Like,
listen, this is what we do.
In Dr. Loading, my reference point is the data, right? So just look at the churches just look around.
Data. This is all he gives me all the time. Is data. This is the data guy.
Look at the data, like look at it.
I love it, man. Family room, mind your business.
Mind your business.
Mind your business. Mind your business. We love it, man. Hey, listen, man. Tune back in next time. Again, we giving what are we giving? We giving humanity to your spirituality every it is, bro. It is. But we doing it, man. Right here in the family room. Hey, man, we love y'all. Tune back in. Peace.